What's up, guys? How y'all doing? And here's the weekly rant and rave. Uh, I haven't done it in a little bit because the Eagles have been playing on Monday night, and that's why we haven't had the rant and rave because I was streaming that. What is good, Daniel? What is good, Vic? Yes. Yeah, they're interviewing Ron Rivera. Yep. I don't want that, Vic. But anyway, let's go with the rant and rave. Um, I'll be talking to Vic. I will be talking that in a little bit about him. Sixers, Embiid has to be MVP. The dude is playing unbelievable basketball. Um, you got to give the credit to the bias. He's been uh playing. He's been playing. He's playing some great basketball. Playing great defense for the bias. Getting so to me, he's doing I think he's doing what he has to do. I think they're gonna be trading Tobias though. I think they're waiting. But it is what it is with the Sixers. I think it's they need another piece. And the reason why I keep on saying they need another piece is when Embiid is out, Maxi's gonna be double teamed and you can't then you have nothing. You gotta get that other piece, and I've been saying this all year long. But I think that's what they have to do. Bungie is happy they got rid. Yeah, I'm gonna get into all the Eagles talk. Then you like Sixers playing phenomenal. Embiid, you got to give him MVP right now to me. But that's the rave. The rants are coming because now I got to rant about the damn Flyers losing back to back, lost to a bad team because all they want to do is try to play keep away and not put their freaking foot on their necks. You got to be able to put their foot on the gas pedal and stay that way all game long. The Flyers need to make a trade. They need an enforcer. They need to get a guy that's going to be a bully, that's going to beat somebody up and punch him in the mouth. You want to play. See, the Flyers always take the puck and they dump it in behind the net. I hate that. But you don't have an enforcer to go in there and pound them and get it and get the puck. So stop doing that unless you're going to go get an enforcer. Can't stand that shit. Flyers need to make it a trade. They need to go get somebody that's going to start playing with an attitude. They got to start. They need somebody that's going to check. They're going to need somebody. They need the enforcer. They need the bully. However you want to say it. But the Flyers right now, the only thing why the Flyers are losing is because they think they can play keep away. They think they can what you call it. And that's the problem. That was the last game. Carter Hart, yeah, you're starting to suck, dude. You were a good goalie, but now you're starting to suck. And I don't hear you're not getting enough playing time. You don't get playing time when you're dropping 5. You're not getting playing time in the first quarter when you fucking let up 3 goals that are pretty easy. You don't get playing time for playing like garbage. I think the guy and I think that the Flyers should have pulled you a long time. In the first period, I would have pulled your ass. 3 goals, you're done. We're trying to win the game, not lose the goddamn game. Carter Hart's a problem. If you trade him, he would probably be worth something. And that's what you got to do right now. What's good, Daniel? What's good, Vic? I'll get to your comments in a minute. Let me do my rants a little bit. And then I haven't been ranting about the Eagles because I streamed them. Now, Brian Johnson, the dude he does not know how to, he don't know how to scheme up for a blitz. He don't know how to figure out how to cover it. And this is why I said in the beginning, the whole year, I'm the only one. Sean Desai was bad. Brian Johnson was going to be bad. And you saw it. And it went slowly. Slowly, you saw us exploding. When you're barely winning and you were just barely winning. You were just barely winning at the time. You were just sneaking by. And you might not like Sean Desai. You might not like, Matt Patricia. But once again, you cannot change a playbook in the middle of a year. It's not going to work. You can't do it. Ask any coach if you can change a playbook in the middle of a year, if your team's going to be any good. It's not. Brian Johnson don't want to use his weapons right. Can't put his guys in the right position. That bend but don't break defense, everybody goes, oh, but it was working. Not really. You were giving up 10 yards every time they touched the ball. Matt Patricia's trying to play press man. Can't do it. Can't be done. Then you go and you play the fucking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and you show up and you were horrible. You can't get nothing. You can't figure out a blitz. You can't figure out how to stop a blitz, Brian Johnson. And everybody's saying, oh, Brian Johnson's got so many interviews. Let y'all know a little secret. In the NFL, they have to interview so many people in-house, so many people out-of-house. It's a fact. Just because he had an interview don't mean he got the job. Shoot, Belichick ain't even got a job yet. You know he's going to the Falcons, but he ain't got the job yet because they got to interview people. That's why you just can't sign one person right away. It can't happen. The New England Patriots are the only one that signed was able to sign their head coach. It was in the contract. In his contract stated he was the head coach. It's already in the contract. So that's how they got away with that. That's the loophole that they got away with. If you already put somebody in their contract, hey, if we release him or it's in his contract. Now, and that whole game was sickening. Watching that the Eagles weren't even ready. It was just pitiful watching that game. I was so sick to my stomach. I didn't like it at all. And then we had no answers for Tampa Bay. Baker Mayfield. They didn't even use, I can't remember if they even used Mike Evans. They didn't even use Mike Evans as much. And they still couldn't stop Tampa Bay from running all over us. That's all they did was run the fucking ball all over us, right down our throat. Could not stop it. It was pitiful. So now, and we're going to get to the chat now because this is why everybody's ranting and raving about now. You got Matt Patricia's gone, Sean Decide's gone, and Brian Johnson, he's gone. Yeah, so the Eagles are looking to have Ron Rivera as my defensive coordinator. I don't want that. I don't want him as my defensive coordinator. Washington didn't look that good. I know everybody, and he wants to be. I'm tired of having coaches wanting to be their friends and not wanting to put people in check. Like having an attitude. I'm tired of my defense not practicing in pads and getting it done. I don't need this baby fine. I'm tired of the baby fine. So Vic was saying that Ron Rivera from the Commanders, he was going. They're interviewing him for the defensive coordinator. I do not want that, Vic. Do not want it. I'm so happy they fired Patricia Daniel. Yep, Spongy. They had to. I didn't say they were going to fire Nick Sirianni. You just got to fire the head coach. I mean, you got to just fire Sean Desai and Brian Johnson. You can't change a playbook in the middle of the year and think it's going to be fixed. Yeah, and Embiid needs to become the MVP. Yep, Vic. And I've been saying that, Vic. That's what they need to do. The Sixers do need to get a 3-point shooter. Been saying it all year, even though everybody was telling me I'm wrong. But that's what they need. They are not. I need a clutch 3-point shooter for the Sixers. Yeah. And Spongy's talking about Embiid right here that all his injuries. I get MVP. I get he should be MVP, and I understand what you're saying there, Spongy. But you also got to look in the playoffs if he's going to show up or not because he's always hurt. Yep, Vic has jinxed my Flyers, my Eagles. Stop jinxing my teams over here, Vic. If you jinx my Phillies, we're going to have problems. Just playing. Yeah, everybody thinks it's going to be Niners and Ravens in the Super Bowl. I'm hoping not, Daniel. Bass has deleted his whole account. I said he should have, and he deleted it soon as he got, because Buffalo was going crazy. Oh my God. No, that's the first guy the Eagles got to get rid of, Vic. Gainwell. He sucks ass. I got Brian Johnson that loves that dude, and I don't have a clue why. God, always want everybody want goddamn Gainwell. Stop it with the Gainwell. Gainwell's not the GOAT. He's horrible. The dude can't run. All right. In the playoffs, he ran it. He was minus 6 yards. He got Jalen Hurts to get a safety. Even though that was on Jalen Hurts, but goddamn. We're in the end zone because of fucking Gainwell. Nobody wants to put it on Gainwell that we got in the end zone. They want to say, oh, it was just on Jalen Hurts. Oh, maybe. Yeah. This is what they did in Tampa Bay game. They threw it to the right. They threw it to the left. They wouldn't throw it in the middle. Devontae Smith got it in the middle. He ran 50 yards. How do you not throw it in the fucking middle of the field? The middle of the field is wide fucking open. Yeah. So everybody watched my live. That's what it was. Like, when a fan can tell you what the Eagles are going to do, that's the problem, Brian Johnson. I shouldn't be able to tell you if it's going to be a run or a pass and where the fuck you're passing it. I shouldn't be the one. I shouldn't be the one where you're doing that. I can't, Brian Johnson. I shouldn't have to have a kid that knows how to play fucking Madden call a better game than you do. If I can get a 10-year-old kid call better plays than you do because he plays fucking Madden, that's my problem with you, Brian Johnson. He knows how to scheme. I got a 10-year-old can tell you how to scheme better than you do of stopping a defense. Yeah, he deloaded. He did that last night, Vic. He fucking got rid of all his social media. Yeah, they want to kill him. Yep. Buffalo fans are crazy right now. Once again, this is what happened with Buffalo. Called it. I called it when I was doing the game. I said Bass needs to get rid of his goddamn Instagram, Twitter, and all that because he's gonna have issues. Look, I got Vic that could call a better freaking goddamn offensive game than freaking Brian Johnson. I can get anybody that played fucking Madden call a better game than Brian Johnson did against Tampa Bay. I just can do it. It doesn't even matter. I don't even have to watch the kid play. You play Madden? Yeah, you're in. That's the problem. That's what Brian Johnson don't understand. He don't know how to use his weapons right. He don't know how to defend a blitz. He don't know how to do this shit. And everybody's thinking he was going to get a head coaching job. No, he's not. He's not that good. Nobody will sign him. If somebody signs him as the head coach, just laugh at that team. Just laugh at it because it's going to be hilarious. Because if they do good, it's the offensive coordinator and the defensive coordinator. It's not going to be on him because he's bad. He is just bad all the way around. He should go back to college and learn something. He was a quarterback coach. He's not nothing else. He's nothing else than a quarterback coach. And this is what I said. I said he shouldn't be sitting here. Everybody said, oh, he's going to be good. He hangs out with Jalen Hurts' daddy. They're best friends. They're going to eat milk and cookies, and they're going to eat dinner, and they're going to build a scheme around it, and he made Jalen Hurts look really bad this year. And Jalen Hurts was confused of what that offense was doing. He confused Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts didn't look that bad the year before. He does now because of Brian Johnson and the scheme. No, everybody wants to blame Jalen Hurts, and you have to blame the offensive coordinator because he confused my quarterback. He put my quarterback and he just dropped him down. Like, what the fuck am I doing here? And when Jalen Hurts and the offense is trying to call different plays because they don't trust Brian Johnson's play, there you go, right there. I didn't think Nick Sirianni was going to go anywhere, but damn, let me just tell you. Everybody's like, "Well, Nick Sirianni should is going to stay. He's making moves." No, he's not. He did not. I don't think he has the power like everybody else thinks. I don't think he has the power to get a defensive coordinator. I didn't think he didn't sign the defensive coordinator. I don't think he signed the offensive coordinator. I don't think he made these moves. Everybody could think they made them, but I don't think so. I mean, we gave up a freaking Dougie Peterson, and he won us a Super Bowl. We had to deal with Nick Sirianni. You know what I mean? So I understood why fans are like, well, get rid of him. But Wednesday, Nick Sirianni and Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie is going to talk to the media. So I might have something on that. But I'm waiting on that. I'm just waiting on that stuff. It's the way that we've been. I'm waiting to see what shoe's going to drop. I'm seeing what the Eagles are going to do. If you're telling me I'm getting Ron Rivera for my defensive coordinator, I've been thinking about it. I don't want it. I'd rather get coaches from college than Ron Rivera. I'd rather have some coaches, a defensive coordinator, maybe an offensive coordinator that comes in here and start young. Ron Rivera, you couldn't make the Washington Redskins any better, and you were the coach. How are you going to be able to make my defense better? You know what I mean? Like, how is that going to happen? What's up, Chad? How you doing? So, yeah. So, how are you going to make my team better? How are you making my goddamn team better? If you're going to have Ron Rivera there on defense. He was an offensive coach and he got rid of his good players. So how the hell would I even do that? No. I'm not doing that. I don't want Ron Rivera. I want some like I said, I want some go get offensive coordinator from college. Go get them from a defensive coordinator maybe from college. What's good, Streets? Yeah, thanks. I got a nice house. I'm here. Come on. Ron Rivera needs to. Yeah, he needs to retire. I think he has. Didn't Ron Rivera just have cancer? No, Chad. What's good, Merrick? You like soccer? You like baseball too? I like baseball. Spurs going halftime. Damien went. If no Gainwell. You can have Gainwell. You want to use You want Gainwell? You can have Gainwell, Vic. I'll give you Gainwell. Bot. Oh, there's a poll. Let's go, Gregor. Yeah, so right now everybody's are like saying that Brian Johnson's going to get a head coaching job. Nope. Don't get me wrong. If he would have went and got a head coaching job, the Eagles would get a draft pick. That's why they were trying to keep him for so long, but they released him. That's why the Eagles were keeping Brian Johnson. Everybody's like, oh, Brian Johnson hasn't been moved. Because it was a draft pick involved. If he got a head coaching job, he got a draft pick. But they released him because nobody's going to hire him as a head coach. That is not Gainwell. Chad, I don't have Gainwell. I do not like Gainwell. I can't stand Gainwell. I don't know how you guys can even think he's a good friggin' running back. He sucks. Unreal that you guys heard with the Gainwell shit. But the Eagles need to do something. So Wednesday they're going to have a meeting. I'm curious what's going to be said. I'm just curious because the way it's been going is unbelievable. The Eagles went downhill so bad. I mean, they lost. What'd they lose? 7, 11. Like they lost. What was it? 7 and they only had out of 7 games. They only won 1. Like, come on, it was bad. It was bad. It was pitiful. Gainwell's awesome. All right, you can have him, Merrick. I will get. Listen, he's a nice guy. He's a guy that I would put on the iceberg. I would put him on where that iceberg that sank the goddamn Titanic. I'm telling you now. I got a list of people that I would put on that iceberg. Y'all can stay right here because y'all ain't worth a damn. Can't take that. Gainwell is horrible. If he's on this team, I swear, if they use him more than any running back that we pick up, I don't know if Swift's going to be here next year. Chad, are you a Logan Paul fan? I don't know how y'all like Logan Paul so much. Yeah, I'm putting Kimbrel and fucking Gainwell on a goddamn iceberg. Making you rant. I would put these guys on an iceberg, dude. I mean, they're bad. I mean, this is I don't understand how freaking coaches can actually think they try to reinvent the wheel. They try to be smarter, and they're not. You're dumb as fucking dirt if you want to use Gainwell. You cost us a playoff game because you want to use Gainwell more than you want to use Swift. I get you all want. I get the rants. I get you want me to rant about him. I get you want me to rant about Kimbrel. I know what you guys are doing. You love pushing my buttons. Miss Halftime does it all too well. But these like right now, we was in the playoffs and they put Gainwell in there, and Gainwell cost us a lot. I mean, don't get me wrong, Jalen Hurts, you got when you're in the end zone, you got to throw that ball away. You got to stop trying to make shit happen. But I get everybody wants to blame Jalen Hurts, and they're not blaming Brian Johnson. Brian Johnson could not figure out a scheme to stop a blitz. He don't know even what a blitz is, I think. And that's the problem. He was the best. Really? Here we go. And AJ Brown's not being traded. They can't trade AJ Brown. They can't. I think he has a no trade clause, but it's gonna hurt the goddamn salary cap. You just don't trade. You can't trade everybody you just signed a contract to because you feel like you can. You can't trade Jalen Hurts. You can't trade AJ Brown. Not happening. Can't do it. Can't be done. Can't do it. It's gonna cost you too much. You can't make that move. It's gonna hurt your. It's gonna hurt your salary cap. It's gonna hurt you. You're gonna go downhill, freaking bad. No, Gainwell couldn't make the friggin'. Gainwell couldn't make any. I don't think anybody's gonna sign Gainwell. They might sign him to their practice squad in case somebody gets hurt. Larry said, "How is Swift in pass protection?" Larry, Brian Johnson can't even figure it out. The problem is everybody wants to, and like here's Larry asking about how Swift good with pass protection. Brian Johnson can't scheme up for a pass protection. So let's go with that. Brian Johnson can't scheme for it. That's what hurt us. Everybody wants to, everybody blaming Swift for not pass protection, right? But they're not going to say, hey, you know, how come this goddamn offensive coordinator can't figure out how to stop a blitz? Are you going to blame Swift for everything? So he does. He can block. He can do the pass protection. You know who else can do it? Penny. How the hell come we not use Penny all year? I don't know why. My thing is, I don't know why the Eagles are so high on Gainwell. Gainwell is so bad. Penny's a good pass blocker. Good. You know what they also do? Both Penny and friggin' Swift catch the ball out of the backfield way better than Gainwell. The problem is, don't use friggin' Gainwell. He's not that good. He's horrible. He cost you game. That's right. They're not giving him the ball. But what I mean is Swift can pass block. Penny can pass block. But the problem is the offensive coordinator cannot scheme for the pass block. He's a quarterback coach. The Eagles were rolling the dice on a quarterback coach, and it cost them. You know what I mean? Yeah. Larry, we haven't used Penny all year. We ain't really used Penny at all. But he can pass block. They both can pass block. The only thing wrong with the Eagles, if your offensive coordinator cannot scheme up to stop a blitz, now everybody knows Tampa Bay likes to blitz a whole lot. Your offensive coordinator has to figure out a way to stop the blitz. It's on your offensive coordinator. This is on your offensive coordinator. It's not on friggin' anybody else except him. You won the job, Brian Johnson. You blew smoke up everybody's ass. And then when you get on here, you're going to put that up and everybody's supposed to be okay with it? This is what happened. Everybody fell into it. Deshaun Desai. He blew smoke up everybody's ass and everybody fell into it. If they would throw anybody in the middle. Middle. Right. If you go empty backfield all the time, how are you stopping it? You're right, Larry. How are you stopping the blitz if you're going? Listen, Larry, but if you know the Eagles are only going to throw it to the right side or the left side, they don't go through the middle. If you throw it in the middle, the Eagles actually do better. But they don't. A.J. Brown catches the ball good going across the middle. Devontae Smith catches the ball good going across the middle. Stop throwing to the right. Stop throwing it to the left. Stop throwing those little behind slants that fucking you want to fucking force some guy. It's 4th and 20. It's 3rd and 20. And you're like, here, I'll throw you a 3-yard pass. You run the fucking 9,000 yards and you put it on them. No, that ain't how you do it. It's bad. And that because we don't use our tight end right because of Brian Johnson. We have a great tight end, and we don't use our tight end because he goes across the middle. Brian Johnson don't like going across the middle. How come Jalen Hurts is always in the goddamn shotgun position? We're 3rd and 2. If you go I formation and just have Jalen Hurts hand it off, we can get it. How come we don't go under center? We can't go under center? We can't go under center. Why can't we go under center? It's a big, that's one of the pet peeves I have. He did it in college, Larry, but my thing is, who's at fault for it? Is it Jalen Hurts that can't play under center? Is it Nick Sirianni that can't coach under center? Is it Brian Johnson? Why can't this guy be under center? 3 and 2, you should be under center. I don't care. You're running the ball. Sometimes you got to be under center. I formation. There's all sorts of ways that you can run this fucking ball. But we don't run the goddamn ball. Oh, here we go. Chad. He was like, no, they can't. Do not put Kimbrel in anything like that. He's horrible. Kimbrel sucks. Kimbrel on an ice block. He sucks. He sucks. He sucks. He cost the Eagles. I mean, he cost the fucking Phillies the World Series. A fucking playoff in the world to go to the World Series. This is what happens. This is why I get mad and I start saying stuff that, and people are like, hey, look, you said this. And because they got me all fucking mad. And I start saying shit and I might freaking say it wrong. I might say it wrong. And then everybody goes, you said this. And then that's how people get me because I get so frustrated with y'all. What's up, sports? How you doing? What's good? Robin Taylor. Tyler. Yes, Larry. It listen, it will work, but why do we have to be under shotgun? It's so simple. Like, it's so predictable, and the Eagles' offense is so predictable that you can call every play. You can call a run. You can call where they're going to throw it. You know how it's going to do. You know Jalen Hurts runs to the right. You know he's throwing it out of bounds or he's running with the ball. You know that for a fact. All right? If he runs to the right, he is running or he's going to throw it out of bounds. It's all you got to do now is stop Jalen Hurts from running. Because then he'll just throw the ball out of bounds. This is facts. But if he can't be under center, is it him that can't play under center? He did it in college, so you can't say he can't play under center. He did it in college. But damn. It's Brian Johnson. Don't look at Swift. Don't look at Penny. Like, Brian Johnson could not come up with a scheme. I think Brian Johnson hurt friggin' Jalen Hurts the way he played. I thought Jalen Hurts thought he had to do more than he had to. And he had to try to figure out what the fuck they're doing and why they're doing it. And this is what happens when you trade and when you change offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators. We went to the Super Bowl last year and we dropped drastically because you just went and picked up a guy and said, here, you do it. But if you can't figure out a scheme, then you're not that good. You can't figure out a blitz. And this is what is wrong. People are like blaming the offensive line and they're blaming this. They want to play the blame game. It's only on one person. If the offensive coordinator cannot figure out how to figure out a scheme, how to defend a blitz, then you're not an offensive coordinator. Jalen Hurts throwing the ball out of bounds. If he runs to the right, he's going. He'll throw the ball out of bounds. In the in the playoffs against Tampa Bay. I'm not saying Jalen Hurts was good. I'm saying the way we built this, the offense was called. It hurt Jalen Hurts to be as good as everybody thinks he could be. When you're doing that, there it goes. Like, you have to look at it that way. And this is why these guys need to be fired. This is why these guys shouldn't have been hired. I said it. I was the first one to say it. Everybody said give them a chance. In football, you cannot give a defensive coordinator a chance. You can't give an offensive coordinator a chance. You better be goddamn sure this guy can figure out how to scheme around a blitz. You got to be able to figure out how this defense guy is going to be, because you can't make a change in the middle of the year. You can give him a chance, but once it's done, it can't be redone. That's what I'm saying. You can give them all a chance, but once you give these guys the chance, you can't undo what you just did. Went and got Brian Johnson. Everybody thought he was going to be a good offensive coordinator. No, he's a quarterback. And everybody's like, and I listen to everybody, fans, the media, all of them, saying, well, Brian Johnson hangs out with Jalen Hurts' daddy and they eat milk and drinking milk and cookies or whatever. No. His halftime said, here's my rant. I don't like football. Sorry. No, we had the same players that we went with the Super Bowl. You're not putting the same. That's the problem. The scheme is bad. You can't scheme a blitz. You can't scheme a blitz. That's the problem, Larry. And I'm telling you this, it don't matter what team it is. If you are an offensive coordinator and you can't stop the blitz, you're going to lose the game. If you can't defend a blitz on offense, you're going to lose that game. Almost most of the time. You might win, but you got to be able to have a better scheme. You got to be able to defend too. You know, there's a defense out there that gets paid a lot of money too. It ain't just, oh, we're going to let you guys go by. Yep, Merrick, it's all because of the coaching. And everybody wants to blame Nick Sirianni for these coaches. And I don't. I don't blame Nick Sirianni at all for these coaches because I don't think he has the power. We got rid of Doug Peterson. He won us a Super Bowl. I ain't never seen one. Normally, if you win a Super Bowl, you know what you get? You get a 5-year extension. You know what the Eagles did? After the year after? They gave him his pink slip and sent him on his way. And everybody's like, well, why would you get rid of Nick Sirianni? He went to the Super Bowl a year ago. Okay. So did Doug Peterson. He got his fucking pink slip. So when people say that to me, that's what rolls in my mind. I'm like, well, Doug Peterson won a Super Bowl. Next year after that, he got his fucking pink slip. And his wide receivers went downhill. Eagles can sign Logan Paul. No, Chad. Stop it. I don't watch college football that much. But I'm telling you now, that's what I would do. I would go get an offensive coordinator from college I'd go get a defensive coordinator from college to run this team. Yes, Larry. On both sides of the ball, they were both bad. Now, who made these picks? If it's Howie Roseman, then Howie fucked up. I know everybody's giving Howie all this leadway, but whoever who signed made the pick for these coaches, they fucked up. I'm gonna give it to Howie Roseman. I don't think Nick Sirianni has the pull like everybody thinks they do. I think he's just a yes man. Whatever you give me, I'll work with. And I think that's the problem. But once you make your decision on offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, you can't re-fix it. You done, you do your damage, or you made your team good. You can make your team better, or you can go right down the hill. This is on Howie Roseman, Jeffrey Lurie, the front office has to figure out this. A lot of it, the reason why that's me though, Larry. I'm the one saying that Nick Sirianni on the pool. I don't know. I ain't seen his contract. I don't know what he has, what he can say he can do, what he can't do. I don't know. Yeah, Merrick likes soccer. Merrick likes soccer. He's really good at it. I've seen his games. So yeah, like this is why Brian Johnson had to go. Sean Desai had to go. I get people want to blame Matt Patricia. I understand that, but guess what? It can't happen. You can't refix a defense to learn a different scheme than Matt Patricia gives you. Matt Patricia is playing man. And our guys are learning a new playbook. So he's taking two playbooks and was trying to combine them to try to fix this on the fly. And you can't do it. You can't do it. This is why I mean, this is why I say, once you go, whatever you go on a defensive coordinator, you better make sure he's the guy. Because it's not going to work out for you because you can't change what you just did. Not going to work. Unless you get rid of him very early, it's not going to work. If Matt Patricia actually schemed the same way as Sean Desai, maybe that would work. But two different playbooks, not going to work. Two different minds, and not on the same page is not going to work. You can't redo it. That's the and that's the problem. I was the first one to say it. Everybody thought I was crazy. Everybody was trying to show me, showing the size stats, how good are you going to be? And everybody said I was going to be wrong. You don't get rid of a guy in the middle of the season. Don't happen. You had to deal with him, or at least have another guy as a backup that schemes the same way as him. So the playbook is not much different. You got to almost have the same kind of playbook. You can't go man and all freaking go play zone. It doesn't work. One guy likes zone all the way. One guy likes man. It's hard to put it together. Two different playbooks, you can't match them. And that's what Matt Patricia was trying to do. And everybody's like, oh, Matt Patricia's the problem. No. That's not the problem. Problem is, you went and got a guy that was not going to be the answer. This is how it goes. Like, it doesn't matter, but it doesn't matter in how, it happens in a lot of sports. You don't see in a lot of sports what happened with the Eagles. You don't see defensive coordinators getting let go and, all right, we're going to fix it now and actually turn out to be good. Like, you look at the Steelers. They got rid of their offensive coordinator, but then they already had somebody. They had the coach that was just going to call plays. Said, you couldn't handle it? You suck? I'm getting rid of you. I'll do it my goddamn self. That's what Nick Sirianni should have done. But he didn't. Want to know why? Because he don't have the power. Nick Sirianni does not have the power to call for somebody's head. That's why you hear Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie, and they're trying to let him have his little opinion. They don't give a fuck what his opinion is. They're going to get rid of his ass. They'll just say, you just deal with what we tell you to deal with. Don't get me wrong. I like how Nick Sirianni will go at the fans. But listen, Nick Sirianni has to stop being in that locker room. He has to stop being the friends. Nick Sirianni must stop being that team's friend and start holding the players accountable too. Get in their face. When Jason Kelce goes up to Nick Sirianni and Jason Kelce's telling Nick Sirianni something, fucking pay attention what your players are telling you too. You're the coach. They're telling you what's going on in the field, and you're not listening to them. So Jason Kelce goes to his offensive coordinator. You notice he never talked to Brian Johnson? He goes to his offensive coordinator and tells him what the fuck's going on so they could tell Brian Johnson. And they didn't. They weren't fixing it. Kelsey's trying to tell them how to fix it, and they're not. So this is what happened. So everybody's pissed off in the locker room. So one side is taking the coach's side. The other side's trying to say, hey, here's the coaches. Let's follow their scheme. Let's follow their scheme. Let's follow their scheme. And they're trying to get everybody on the same page as the coaches. And there's a bunch of guys on the other one saying, these coaches don't know dick. They don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they want me to do because it don't make sense. It's like when you go to work. Whatever's easy, you can do a job. And one guy tells you have to do it this way, but you can do it faster a different way. Who's at fault? And you didn't do it their way. So guess what? You're in the wrong. So the players cannot fix the thing on the field. You can't call timeout, go to the locker room, and tell all the coaches, hey, you're ass, dude. You know what I mean? That's I'm the new GM. I don't want to be the GM there, Dad. I'm just telling you what the problems are. I'm just telling you what is going on. And everybody's like, AJ Brown's gone. No, he's not. Can't go nowhere if he wanted to go somewhere. Unless he's going to lift up his contract, his no trade clause. Then he's going to have to restructure his deal so the Eagles don't lose as much money on their salary cap. It ain't going to happen. So this is the issues. But when you have that locker room, and now since you brought Sean Desai in there, and you got Brian Johnson in there, they're making the players butt each other's heads because they don't know how to fix it. The coordinators can't fix their job. The players are trying to tell the coordinators how to fix the job. You go to work, and I'm just a construction worker. If my boss tells me I got to get this done, and I got to do it this way, but I know for a fact it's easier to do it another way, and it's quicker. And when I don't do if I didn't do it their way, they go, why didn't you do it that way? Because this way's faster and I'm done now. I would still be doing it your way. It'd be still harder. It don't make sense. And they don't like that. They want it their way. It doesn't happen all the time. But when the players are trying to help out the coaches and the coaches got their head up their ass and they don't want to listen, and I'm telling you now, you could tell they don't listen because Nick Sirianni was talking to Kelsey, and Nick Sirianni was just shaking his head. Yeah, get up the road. I got to coach a game. Well, you're not coaching a game anyway. Because if you did, you would have pulled fucking Brian Johnson. Kelsey goes to his offensive coordinator. There's clips of this. I'm not pulling this out of my ass. There's clips of this. Watching Kelsey go to Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni just tell him to calm down and go sit down. We'll be all right. Kelsey goes to his offensive coordinator. You notice Kelsey never goes to Brian Johnson. Because Brian Johnson's a problem. He can't figure out how to stop the blitz. I would like to be a fly on the wall when I get just to hear Kelsey really tell you how he feels about his team, about the offensive coordinator. He will not tell you this because he'll get in trouble. Sean Desai is gone. They are not keeping him. He was released. They were keeping Brian Johnson for a little bit because of if he was become a head coach, then the Eagles would get a draft pick. Oh, Sirianni? Sirianni's definitely staying. Sorry. I was on my rant. I was on my rant about Sean Desai. Sirianni's staying. He's going to be talking to media Wednesday. Now you hear Sirianni, Jeffrey Lurie, and Howie Roseman. They'll be talking on Wednesday. I guess it's at 1 o'clock. I don't know. I had to look that up. But is Nick Sirianni the problem? Nick Sirianni, I think he's trying to be more friends in the locker room, in their buddy. Hey, let's go have a beer. And not be a coach, not get in their face, not grab the guys by the face, man, saying, what the fuck are you thinking? You know what I'm saying? I think that's what the problem with Nick Sirianni is. He wants to be more friendly than he is a goddamn head coach. And I'm not for that. if you're gonna, you got to hold your guys accountable, and they're gonna hold you accountable. You got to look at it like that. They're gonna hold each other accountable, and that's it. You know what I mean? You gotta, Nick Sirianni's got to go with this attitude. Is how to put these guys in the right position. How do you, fix this team? You need to stop trying to be their buddy. You got to stop being their friend. I get it. If you're going to sit there, if a player has something personal to go to, then you have to sit down and now you have to push aside the coach, the ignorant coach, and be, all right, let's fix your problem that you have. You have a serious problem here. Here we go. Let's fix this. Let's see what we can do. You got to be a psychiatrist at one, and then you also got to be a coach to hold them in there and get them ready for game day. Get them ready with that attitude. Does Sirianni do anything good? I think he does, Larry. It's just the way that the team does like him. He's a favorite in the locker room. They love hanging out with him, but that's what I think. Like, I think it's more hanging out and being buddy. They like him as a coach because he's friendly. He's not holding nobody accountable. He's not in their ass. It's easy. You know what I mean? They all like Nick Sirianni. He has the attitude. He has the attitude like he'll go and tell Kansas City fans, shut the fuck up. He'll go tell a team, he'll shoot the fans the finger. So they do like him because he'll speak his mind. He won't speak them to the media, but he'll speak to his mind to the fans, and he'll tell his, you know what I mean? But he's trying to be their friend, not more of the coach. What's good, Alexander? But Nick Sirianni just, and I think this is the problem. I don't know who hired the offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. I think that's the only problems the Eagles have. Larry, I think that's the only problems we have. I know the coach is fine. But Brian Johnson, he puts the pom-poms in his hands and just cheers him on, and he'll take the brunt of it. Instead of saying, hey, he is the problem, he's learning on the fly, give him a break. I mean, would you want your coach to go to the media and say, listen, Brian Johnson's he was a quarterback coach. He don't know how to scheme for an offense. You got to give him a break and let him build. What would you say to that after a team just went to the Super Bowl? You wouldn't like it. Right, Larry. He don't call plays. He's more of a friend. He's just more of a friend. He's more of a dude that you go to the bar and hang out with. He does come up with some of the scheme. Like Brian Johnson and him talk, and they go over plays. That's what a head coach does, though. A head coach goes to his offensive coordinator and says, hey, these are the kind of plays you want. And Nick Sirianni goes, yeah, I like them plays. But Brian Johnson, when he's calling them, He has to call him at the right time. Um, is it? But I don't know if it's Nick Sirianni that don't want Jalen Hurts under center, or if it's Jalen Hurts that can't do under center, or nobody can scheme, or there's the way they want to call plays is because it's always shotgun. We don't know as much. We're fans. We don't know as much as we would like to. We're not the fly on the wall. But what I could see from out here, just watching, is Nick Sirianni is more of a buddy. Nick Sirianni don't hold a running back accountable for anything. He don't yell at nobody. Now, a lot of people are saying because this new day and age has changed, you can't yell at nobody on the field. Well, you can. No, he don't. You're right, Larry. He don't, because he don't have to, because he has no say. And if he gets fired, you know what he's going to say? He's going to say the same thing Dougie Peterson said. He's going to go, I didn't have control. I can only they only give me what I can work with. And that's what Nick Sirianni is saying right now. I only get what I work with. I can't do nothing else. It's what they give me. If I can do anything, you know, if I can keep on doing what I'm doing, that's it. I can only whatever they give me is what I can work with. Does he hold himself accountable? No, because that's his scapegoat. Go get another job if somebody gets rid of him. He can't say it because right now that's his job. Why don't we practice in pads? That's Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni's we need to be practicing pads. You don't practice tackling. How the fuck you not practice tackling? Especially, and you keep on telling me it's the fundamentals and fundamentals. That's why I had problems with Nick Sirianni. I'm tired of hearing the fundamentals. Well, if you're doing fundamentals, how come you're not practicing the fundamentals? You think they're just gonna fix themselves? These are the questions why Nick Sirianni's still going to be here. This is one, but Nick Sirianni's just a yes man, Larry. He's just a yes man. He goes he does whatever Howie Roseman wants, and do it however how he wants him to do it. And Jeffrey Lurie, they don't you don't see them going to go get a head coach like Belichick, and he gets all the power. They don't want to see that. Yeah, they need to practice tackling. They need to play. They need to tackle and pad. Chip said, "How about them damn Cowboys?" Yeah, you're sitting in the same spot that I am. Skip, you know that, right? Yelling about your team. You went with the same team. You go with the same coach again. But this is the problem. You got to be able to fix it. Practice and pads. You know, and this is the Hargrave said it. Hargrave said, "Hey, what's easier, over here in 49ers or over there in the Eagles? Over there with the Eagles, because they don't practice. They don't practice in pads. They don't fucking the 49ers held you to accountability. The Eagles don't. When you sit there and you were an Eagles guy and you go and say they don't hold you to accountability, That's a problem. That's Nick Sirianni. That's the offensive coordinator. That's the fucking defensive coordinator. Whoever it is in there, and you're over there just wanting to drink a milkshake, that's the problem. You got to start holding people accountable. Did they gave up the division to the Cowboys. It should never happen. I thought it should have never happened, Larry, but it did. But you have to be able to fix the problem. We don't fix the problem. We don't. We don't fix what's going on. And you got to fix the damn problem. You can't keep on doing the same thing over and over again and think it's going to fix itself. Cowboys like doing that. Cowboys do that. Ask the Cowboys because they've been doing that a lot of years. Skip the Cowboys fan. Ask them. They keep on doing the same thing over and over and over again. They never try to fix it. Skip knows how to fix his own team more than fucking Jerry Jones knows how to fix the team. But you can't sit here. You can't sit here and if anybody says you can go change a defensive scheme in the same year and you'll be fine, it don't. It don't happen. It just don't happen. Can't do it. Can you? Could Nick Sirianni take over the play calling? Yeah. Why couldn't you? But you can't keep on doing the same thing over and over again. It's not going to work. And if you know, and I get it. People are looking at us. We're 10-1. But see the problem is with the Eagles, 10-1, right? But you were barely winning the games. You were barely winning games. Brian Johnson went from throwing the ball, and AJ Brown getting the ball, and him running 135 yards. Devontae Swift was running for 100 and some odd yards, 125, I believe it was. At the same time, then Brian Johnson changed the scheme when we were 10-1 and started playing a different way. Yes, he called plays before. Nick called plays. He came from the Colts, and I see they want to. And this is another thing. Now the Eagles want to go to the Colts and just go get their offensive coordinator. Well, do you think that if the Colts give up their offensive coordinator and he comes here, right? What good's that going to do? Because the Colts weren't that good. You're not going to. You're not. I think your only answer. I think the only Eagles' only answer is that you have to be able to go to college and get an offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator and see how that's going to be. I don't not. I right now. I don't not like. I don't like a defensive coordinator right now that you could pick up, or an offensive coordinator right now you could pick up. You're only going to lose in the wild card again. Skip, how do you lose to you're the second seed? How do you lose to the seventh seed? And Skip's now here's one. Skip's over here. The Cowboys have a dilemma. I'm going to use Skip as a problem here because Dak Prescott's going to get $60 million next year. Skip's over here going to roll with it, and then they bring the same thing back again and again and again and again and again. Now the Eagles are following in the Cowboys' footsteps. Is that what we're going to do? I want to see some change from the Eagles. Go to college. Go get an offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator. Go do some research and look at these guys. I'm pretty sure you might be able to get a head coach from the colleges and make him your offensive coordinator. Maybe you could have there's a coach out there that calls is a good defensive mind. I would like to see that. I want to see younger. We keep on going to the same teams and going to go pick up everybody that because Nick Sirianni worked with, and it don't work out. I think Sean Desai was working with Nick Sirianni too, and it just didn't work out. Well, that's your owner. I don't know what the fuck why your owner keeps on doing this, what he does. You can sit here and tell me how great your team is, but when you're one and done in the playoffs, it don't matter. That's more management, and Jerry Jones is the only one doing it, so he's the problem. That's my thing. Eagles, like Skip, I will say this. You know, there's another team that is just like you, and that's the Buffalo Bills. They're going to do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. They'll keep that Stephon Diggs. They're going to have everything the same. They're going to keep the quarterback the same. They're going to keep the coach the same and never get nowhere. They're never going to go into a Super Bowl. They're not going to win. They're going to be like you for a while. I don't want to see my team like that. I don't want to see my team like that at all. I want to see my team actually come and say, all right, we're going to fix the problem and we're going to handle this problem right now. That's what I want to see. I want to see an attitude. That's what I want to see. I want to see a damn attitude. And right now, they're not doing that. I hate the Bills. They had a chance to save us. Yep. Yeah, I was. Every time Kelsey scored, it went right there, and whatever. It is what it is. But I will say this. Bass took his media off Skip because he was getting some nasty comments. And I said that after the game. I streamed it. I said that dude needs to take off all media and he needs to leave town now. Because they were going to Buffalo is pissed. But, all right, guys. Thanks for coming in. I'm going to get ready. I'm streaming in a little bit. Sixers game. So I'm getting ready. I got to go get ready for that. Guys, thanks for hanging out with me. And you guys are awesome. Appreciate every one of yous. I could talk with you guys for hours. You guys are great. Thank you guys so much. If you want to come back and talk, I'm gonna be streaming it. I think it's at 7. That I'll be streaming that in a little bit. Come hang out with me and we'll keep on ranting. Catch you guys on the rebound.